Don't tell anyone. But it's wonderful to be so rich, isn't it?
Would you kindly get off the stage?
America, America.
When it comes to Hayley Mills, people often remember a child star who captivated the world with her innocence and natural talent. But behind the bright spotlight are the silent struggles that few people know about. At the height of her fame, Hayley almost lost everything after a cruel producer forced her to pose naked in front of the camera. Although her parents were the ones who opened up her career path, Hayley still couldn't hide her resentment because they were the ones who made her endure pressure and unhappiness throughout her childhood. Why is that? Let us tell you about the regrets that shaped her path. Hayley was not a natural genius or a special child. She was just someone who had the means to start a career that many people dream of. Being born into a wealthy and famous family in the entertainment industry, that advantage turned out to be a double-edged sword. Her parents not only expected, but imposed. They did not let her choose her own path. Everything was mapped out for her from a very young age. Hayley's entire childhood revolved around the spotlight. Not many options for a girl with her father, Sir John Mills, a veteran actor of British cinema, and her mother was actress Mary Bell. At the age of 12, Hayley had her first role in the movie Tiger Bay, starring alongside her own father. The movie was not only a financial success, but also turned Hayley into a phenomenon. But at that time, she was still too young to fully understand the meaning of fame. Deep inside, she was still a stubborn child, thrust into a world she did not choose. To her parents, success or failure did not matter. The only thing they wanted was for Hayley to become the heir to the family name, a famous actress. However, Tiger Bay brought Hayley more than she could have imagined. The role caught the eye of Bill Anderson, one of Walt Disney's right-hand men. Thanks to him, Hayley got the opportunity to change her life, the lead role in the film Pollyanna, 1960. The character of Pollyanna, an optimistic girl living under the coldness of her harsh aunt, became a classic image on the screen. The role not only made Hayley Mills famous, but also brought her the Academy Award for Best Young Actress, and that was also the last time this category was awarded in history. From a girl with no choice, Hayley suddenly became a name that made Hollywood pay attention. Have you invited the whole town? An innocent line in a classic scene, when Hayley Mills tries to explain why she brought her boyfriend home just to see the rainbow on the wall. But it was that innocence and naturalness that completely conquered Disney. They could not ignore a phenomenon like Hayley. In 1961, Hayley was given a more daring role, playing two characters at the same time, twin sisters Sharon and Susan, in the movie The Parent Trap. Not only did she excellently portray two contrasting personalities, Hayley also created an immortal cinematic moment when she sang a duet in the song Let's Get Together. The song unexpectedly became a global phenomenon, climbing straight to 8th place on the music charts that same year. Also that year, Hayley continued to assert her talent through the crime film Whistle Down the Wind, bringing her name to the peak of fame. She was honored as the #1 star in the UK, a rare title for a young actress. But the closer she got to the spotlight, the more constrained Hayley felt. Every step, every decision of hers was strictly controlled by her parents. They had to agree to everything in advance, not giving her the right to decide for herself. And so the little star began to rebel. At that time, Hayley was only 19 years old enough to know she wanted to escape control, but still too young to understand the price of freedom. She quietly packed her bags, left her parents' lavish but cold house, and flew alone to New York, the city of opportunities and dreams. Just a few days after arriving, Hayley decided to do what she thought was necessary. Proactively approach a man, her sister's friend, with the clear intention that she wanted to give up the purity that the world had labeled her for so many years. It was her sister who introduced Hayley Mills to Joe, a former New York cop, once hardened by the streets, now tasked with the lighter task of guiding a young starlet around the city. That night, Hayley tells it, was like a scene from a tragic black and white movie. The hotel was quiet, the candles flickered, the silk nightgown was carefully chosen, but as the night wore on, reality hit her like a cold wave. What she thought was a turning point of liberation turned out to be a mistake that was hard to wash away. She didn't feel stronger or freer, just empty and dirty. She wished she had never left her parents' arms. The next morning, Hayley quietly packed her bags again, but this time not to run away, but to return to the past that had never let her go, and the future that still lay ahead of her. She returned to school, took a year off from acting, and didn't think about her career during that time. Perhaps she wished she had never stepped into that spotlight. Hayley Mills officially ended her contract with Disney in 1965 with the comedy That Darn Cat. During her 6 years with the studio, she became an icon of the children's screen, loved and admired by audiences. But for Hayley, it was a time she was not proud of. The long-term contract with Disney cost her many career opportunities, and over time, it eroded her self-esteem. She realized that she was trapped in the image of a Disney child star, something she never really wanted. After leaving Disney, Hayley made an impressive comeback with the film The Trouble with Angels, 1966, marking her return after a period of absence. However, the next film, The Family Way, became a big wound in her soul. Although her father agreed to participate, the role required Hayley to be naked on camera. At first, she thought it was a chance to prove that she was no longer a Disney angel, but the reality was not as simple as she thought. It was just a single scene, but it took her 3 days of struggling to complete. She recounted that it was the worst and most terrifying experience of her life, a scene that took away her confidence, pushed her into a psychological crisis and prolonged depression. Although she later recovered and continued her career, the mental wound never fully healed. Hayley decided to stay away from the spotlight for many years, in search of the peace she had never had. It was not until 1981 that she returned to British television in the series The Flame Trees of Thika. However, everyone knew that Hayley's career was not what it used to be. She still participated in a few small projects, but none of the roles brought her the glory she had when she was young. Few people know that the nude scene in The Family Way not only hurt her, but also dragged her into a complicated relationship with director Roy Bolting, who was 32 years older than her. Despite strong opposition from her family, especially her father, the feelings between Hayley and Roy grew deeper. When Roy still hesitated to propose, it was Hayley who gave him an ultimatum: either marry or break up. They finally got married in 1971. But soon, Hayley felt suffocated in her married life. In her memoir, she revealed that Roy completely controlled her life, not allowing her to make new friends, not allowing her to act in any films other than those he directed. When her son Christian was born in 1973, Hayley realized that the life she was living was not the dream she had dreamed of. After 6 years of marriage, she decided to divorce in 1977 and lost faith in marriage from then on. Although she no longer believed in marriage, Hayley was open to falling in love again. In 1976, before her divorce from Roy was final, she began a relationship with actor Lee Lawson, and that same year she gave birth to her second son, Jason Lawson. But the relationship ended soon after in the early 1980s. Hayley remained single for many years, until 1997, when she met Freddie Bungie, an actor of Indian origin. Despite a 20-year age gap and not an immediate connection, Freddie gradually won Hayley's heart. They stayed together for many years and built a lasting love. In a controversial interview, Hayley Mills admitted that her biggest regret in life was not her breakups, but not having more children. At 76, Hayley openly shared that she was too absorbed in her work and accidentally neglected her family. If you have to choose between work and time with your children, don't hesitate, choose your children, she said. Looking back, I realized I couldn't do that. I was away from my family for too long, and that's what I regret. For many years, Hayley Mills kept her private life private, away from the prying eyes of the media. But wherever she was, whatever she did, the public always hoped that she had found the happiness she deserved. Few people knew that in April 2008, shortly after her 62nd birthday, Hayley faced a life and death challenge. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. However, she decided not to go public with her condition. It was a long and arduous journey, with times when she felt like she was slipping away from life. Hayley refused chemotherapy and radiation, opting for surgery instead. She admits that she feared chemotherapy more than the cancer itself. Concerns about the side effects made her unable to accept standard treatment. The decision was made without reassurance from her doctor, and she is not sure whether the choice would be right for others. I wanted to take control of my own destiny and be directly involved in that fight, she says. For me, it was a quality of life issue. Despite the uncertainty, Hayley was lucky to beat the disease. In 2012, she publicly announced that she was cancer-free. After recovering, she returned to work and believes that a healthy diet is an important factor in boosting her immune system and speeding up the recovery process. So how is Hayley Mills now? Since her last appearance on screen, her life has been quite quiet. Hayley is currently spending time with her family and pursuing new passions, especially writing. Although she has never officially announced her retirement, fans still hope to see her shine again, bringing the charm and energy she once brought to each role. At 78, Hayley Mills is still the Disney girl in the hearts of audiences. Although her appearance is no longer the same, she now lives with her young partner in a cozy house in London, enjoying a peaceful but free life. With an estimated fortune of up to $5 million, Hayley still lives a full life, not tormented by the past, but always ready to welcome new and exciting things ahead. That is the story of Hayley Mills, a once bright star and a symbol of unyielding will to live. If you find this content meaningful, leave a like and follow the channel so you don't miss the next stories.